What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I got another video for you guys. I'm going to be breaking down my top 5 point guards in this year's draft class. Not a whole lot else to say about it other than leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know if I left anyone off the list. Let me know if you agree with the order, if you change it up. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this year's point guards. And with that being said, let's get into the top 5 point guards in the 2021 NBA draft. So at the number 5 spot on my list, I have Auburn's point guard Sharif Cooper. Now, Sharif Cooper is probably one of the more talented players in this year's draft class. The problem with Sharif Cooper is that he's only 6 foot tall, but skill-wise, he's got to be one of the more talented players in the draft class. I mean, offensively, he can really do a little bit of everything. He put up monster numbers at Auburn. He's got a great handle on the ball, knows how to get to his spots, knows how to use his handle to get himself open. Great in the pick and roll. I thought he did that really well at Auburn, whether it was, making plays for himself out of the pick and roll, or whether it's making, any of the passes out of the pick and roll that you got to make at the NBA level, whether that be, pocket passes, skip passes to the corner, anything like that. He's got that in his game, and I thought he did a good job of, making his teammates better at Auburn, and, scoring the ball wise, he did, a fantastic job of that as well. He's a little bit of a streaky shooter, and his form is a little, different. We'll see how that translates to the NBA level. I'm not sure 100% on that, but for someone with his size, he did a great job of attacking the paint. He's got all types of different finishes, on his layups with both hands, and he knows how to use his body well for someone his size. And so, offensively, he's really almost a complete player at that point guard position. Shot selection will have to improve, obviously, as the offense won't flow through him quite like it did at Auburn. But like I said, offensively, I don't think you can really ask much more out of a point guard skill-wise. The thing that will hold Sharif back is his size. He's only 6 foot, 160 pounds, and so defensively, I think he'll get picked on a ton early in his career, and I think it could be kind of a struggle for him to stay on the floor if teams decide to kind of abuse him defensively. But like I said, offensively, I don't think you can ask for much more, to be honest, out of a point guard. At the number 4 spot on my list, I have Baylor's point guard Devon Mitchell. Now, he's a little bit older, which is I think why he's kind of at the 4th spot on my list. He's coming in after his junior year in college. I believe he's 22 years old, but I think he has plenty of upside still. He's a player who got better each year in college, and this last year really rounded out his offensive game, especially by shooting the ball better, shooting above 40% from 3. And so if he can, get into the league and just continue to develop as an offensive player like he did in college, I think he's got, a pretty high ceiling on the offensive side of the ball, especially if that shooting translates. That was really the big thing for him because he's plenty athletic. He's, one of the quicker players in this year's draft class, can get to the hoop, at will. And like I said, he's athletic. He's got different finishes at the rim and can finish, as you see in some of these clips, above the rim. But that's not really entirely his game. His game is really based on the defensive side of the ball. He's one of the better, if not, the best, on-ball defender in college basketball this last year. And I think that's what's really going to separate him from some of these other prospects in the draft. If he goes to a win-now team, I think he's the type of player who can, play big minutes early in his career because he just plays a winning style basketball, obviously, as we saw Baylor winning a national championship. And so, like I said, I think he can play big minutes early in his career. I still think he's got plenty of upside, especially, like I said, if he continues to develop his offensive game. And I think that he's got, borderline, maybe all-star potential someday. So at number 3 on my list, I have Josh Giddy. Josh Giddy is coming from the NBL, the same league that LaMelo Ball played in, and he actually averaged very similar stats to LaMelo while in that league. This last year, he averaged 12 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists a game. So a very well-rounded player who can do a little bit of everything on the floor, similar to LaMelo Ball. Also, like LaMelo, he struggled from 3 while at, in Australia, shot it at under 30% and shot under 70% from the free throw line. Now his form looks solid. It looks, pretty mechanically sound. So we'll see if that improves at the NBA level. But like I said, a player who can do a little bit of everything, passes the ball really well, obviously impacts the game, rebounding the ball, averaging over 8 rebounds a game. So, as an all-around player, the thing with Josh is, he isn't really a next level athlete, doesn't have, that next gear athletically to really separate himself. He is 6'8", similar to LaMelo Ball there as well. And so I'm really curious to see, how his game translates to the NBA level. Obviously, LaMelo won Rookie of the Year this last year. And with, the similar height, similar, kind of all-around play style, same league, coming from, I'm really curious to see, how that translates to the NBA level and what his ceiling is. I think there's kind of a lot of unknown with him, but I think there's a lot of potential there with that size and, like I said, kind of an all-around play style. It'll be interesting to see how that translates to the NBA level, and I look forward to seeing where Josh goes and, what's the team's plan for him, because I think there's some upside there with him, and there's also some, question marks about him. At the number 2 spot on my list, I have Gonzaga's point guard, Jalen Suggs. I've talked about Jalen Suggs a ton on this channel, and I really like his game. I think that he's going to be a player who just, is a winning player in the NBA. He does a lot of the little things that you need out of a point guard to win games, and I think he does those things really well. Not the most flashy player, but he's 6'4", and is plenty athletic for the position. He's not afraid offensively to post up smaller guards. He knows how to make, all the basic reads in the offense. He knows how to make his teammates better. Obviously I think with him as well as, some of the other players on this list, shooting the ball could be a question. He shot it at only like 33% from 3. Another player who has good form, but we'll see if it, improves at the NBA level. Defensively, I think he's the type of guard who can, guard, both guard positions really well. I think he has the potential to be one of the better, defenders at the point guard position if he chooses to focus on that. And I just think overall his game kind of reminds me of someone like, Kyle Lowry, just a little bigger, a little more athletic, but, a player who doesn't do too many flashy things, but makes winning plays. And I think that he can be, a championship level point guard on a really good team. At the number 1 spot on my list, I have probably the lock to go number 1, and that's Oklahoma State's point guard, Cade Cunningham. Not a whole lot to say about his game. I've talked about him also on this channel a ton. Really, like I said, not a whole lot to say. 6'8" point guard who can do a little bit of everything. He answered the one question about him heading into college, which was, could he shoot? Shot the ball at 40%. Great passer, great feel for the game. I think he can play a Luka Doncic type role at the NBA level. Defensively, offers a ton of versatility. He can probably switch 1 through 4 in today's NBA. And really just, there's not a whole lot that he can't do. He's just really well-rounded, great feel for the game. Offensively, like I said, can play, whatever role I think you really need him to play. But I think he can play that Luka Doncic, type role where everything kind of flows through him. Defensively, he can switch everything. Not much more you can ask for out of, a number 1 pick and the number 1 point guard in a draft class. Overall, those are my top 5 point guards in this year's draft class. I want to hear what you guys have to say about the list down in the comment section below. Let me know if I'm forgetting anyone. Let me know, if you change up the order at all. Just leave your thoughts overall down in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later.